live. Hope you have all had a good week. It's an overcast morning today in Drogheda. It is what it is. Better than rain, I suppose, which is always good. I'm not a big fan of the rain. I can handle the cold, but yeah, not a big fan of the rain. So I suppose we had a lovely response to last week's episode where people were giving us great feedback about how it kind of showed a different side of being a parent. So I hope you all got something out of it and you all enjoyed it. Today we've got a few questions. I'm going to crack straight into it. First up, my 9-year-old daughter has started to put on quite a bit of weight. I struggle myself too, but I'm really worried about her as I don't want her to have to deal with what I have through my life. I find it so hard to say no to her when she looks for treats as I don't want her upset. What can I do to get her eating healthily? So this is something I think will probably resonate with a lot of people, and it's something that I think a lot of parents feel fear over. So upsetting your child, some people will listen to this and say, what are you doing worried about upsetting your child? You just need to not give in to the treats. But in real life, when you're in the moment, it's exceptionally difficult at times if your child is someone who gets easily upset and you may be having a very stressful day and struggling yourself. As this lady says, she has had her own issues with her weight. So I suppose the first thing is it's good that you recognise that your daughter has started to put on weight and it is something that you want to actually manage. And in some ways it's probably not a blessing in disguise, but the fact that you've had your own struggles, maybe this is something you can all do together. So one of the simple things that I would say is stop having treats in the house. Now, I say simple, but for some people that's, they have their little treat every day. But if you've struggled with your own weight, maybe the whole household, whether it's just you and your daughter or whether there's other people there, you can all start to go, we're going to have a healthier life. It's much easier when you do it all together, but you're all going to have to stick to it. And that can be really, really difficult, but it is worthwhile. I think it is really important, and it is, for those people who would get frustrated maybe hearing this, there is a certain element of you are in control of what goes into your child's mouth pretty much. At 9 years of age, you're the one, I'm assuming, who's cooking the meals or providing the food. You're the one that's giving school lunches, and you're the one who decides what comes into the house or not. So you have a lot more control than you probably think. Now, your child will probably kick and scream and give out and complain and moan about not having treats. But children are a lot more adaptable than adults, so she will get on board a lot quicker than you, and she probably will get into it a lot more than you. Now, it may take a bit of research for you to actually go and look at, well, what kind of meals are we going to eat if we are going to eat healthier as a family? But I think it's really important that you start to set that culture in, and then you can start to get your daughter involved in making those so that she feels a certain connection with what she's eating and knows where it comes from and knows how to make it. Now, that's assuming you have the time. A lot of parents might sit there and go, I just have enough time to get the food on the plate and off we go. And if that's the case, so be it. Maybe you can do something at the weekend where you have a bit more time if you do. So get her involved in, we're going to try something new. But I think for everybody, look at eating healthier, having healthier meals. Don't have treats in the house. Or maybe one day is a treat day. Whatever way you can do it. But you don't have free access to treats. So even if she comes looking for treats, there's nothing there. And for yourself, if you go looking for treats, there's nothing there. I think it's something that you can all start to work on together and start to get more exercise together, because unless a child has got a severely rare medical condition, there is no reason why they should start to put on weight. All that's happening is that they're eating more than they actually need. And children will run everywhere. Children will look to do exercise as just a normal way of being. So children shouldn't really be overweight. There is no reason for a child to be overweight bar a rare medical condition. It's just that they're eating too much and not getting enough exercise. So look at what is your child actually interested in. So she's going to try new sports, new activities, whatever it might be. And she will be self-conscious beforehand. She will be maybe a little bit, she might cry, she might get upset. But I think it's your role as the parent to try and instill and show her that she can actually do things for herself, and that she can try new things, and it's okay, but she needs to stick with it. So if she's trying something new, and let her be involved in the decision to try something new, but let her try it for a minimum of 3 months. I'd say ideally 6 months, but a minimum of 3 months before she can give it up, because sometimes kids can complain, and they can be quite persistent. And sometimes it takes that little bit of a while to actually get into something. So I would say, look at it. What is she interested in? What might she like to try? And she has to try it for a minimum of 3 months. And if she wants to leave it, she needs to pick something else to do. And then look at everybody getting out. We're coming into, if you're based in Ireland, we're coming into spring. The evenings are getting longer. You can get out and go for a walk, even if it's something small. Get out and kick a ball together. Like, she's going to remember those times that you spend with her kicking a ball around, or throwing a ball around, or going for a walk in the park, or whatever it might be. She's going to remember those. So you're actually having lovely memories together, as well as everybody getting fitter and healthier. And you can name it. You can say, we've all put on a little bit of weight, so we're all going to try and have a healthier lifestyle, so that the family lives better, has less medical issues and stuff like that, and work together. But you're going to have to do the hard work too. And I suppose it highlights one of the big things for parents. Sometimes the hard work can be extremely hard, but it's our job. We can be friends with our kids when they're 18 and over, but it's our job to be a parent and to show them how to live in this world. And one of those is to teach them how to eat healthily, how to live a healthier lifestyle. And they learn more from what they see than what we tell them. So show her how to live a healthier lifestyle by you doing it too. And you may find it hard. Get support if you need it, get help if you need it, but it will definitely be for the benefit of everybody in the house. So best of luck with that. Good morning, Lisa. Good morning, Jennifer. I hope you're both keeping well. Thanks for joining in. Jennifer says, I agree with you. The parents are responsible for the weight of the children, and show them or do it together. Absolutely. Need a coffee this morning. Okay, next one up. My son is 15 and doesn't have a huge group of friends. He doesn't really take part in any sports and has become very moody in the last year. 15, moody. Surprise, surprise. When I try to talk to him about it, he says he's fine with the friends that he has and has no interest in sports. He loves his depressing music and plays in a band with his friends. I'm just worried that he's missing out on so much, as there is so much more to life. How can I get him to see that if he just tries things, he might enjoy them? So he's 15, he's moody, plays in a band, listens to depressing music. Sounds a bit familiar, actually. I think sometimes what we want for our children, we have to try and balance what we want for our children with what they want for themselves. Not every child's going to be into sports. Not every child's going to be the most popular kid in school and have 50,000 friends. A lot of them will have 50,000 friends on Instagram or Facebook, whatever, but, real friends. So sometimes having a small cohort of friends is actually all right for your child. What I'd say to you is just watch his behaviours and try and get a handle on what's just moody, stroppy teenager. Like I say it all the time, 14 down to 13 up to 15 is the worst age going, because you're not a child anymore, but you're not an adult, even though you think you are. So it's really important that what you can do is you can take that step back and go, okay, is he just a moody teenager who listens to depressing music? And the other thing is, if he's writing music and playing music with his friends, he's spending time with other people and he's getting it out. Because we worry about our children, and not to be flippant about it at all, we worry about our children and how they can, listen to some of the stuff they listen to. To be honest, I'm more worried about the rubbish music that sometimes gets played in this house. But if our child has a way of expressing themselves, whether that's through their music, through their art, through whatever, at least they're expressing themselves and getting it out. Because it is a struggle. It's an absolute struggle being a teenager, and now more so than ever, because there's so much more pressure in terms of social media, in terms of having to live the best life that you know, live your best life. Just live life. Life is going to be crap some days, and that's all right too. So it's all right. And try and just open the communication with your child. Um, Even look at trying to just get out for walks, like not too dissimilar to the previous one. Get out for a walk. You know, if he's overweight, then you need to look at his food intake. And sometimes we do have to step in and say, no, you need to do some exercise. So whether that's going to a gym or whatever it might be, swimming. If our children are overweight, we need to step in and try and change that. So look at who's doing the cooking in the house, what are we eating, that kind of thing. But if he's doing okay and he seems, if he's not isolating himself, maybe he's okay. So what you want from is maybe not what he wants for himself. And it's one of the most difficult things for any parent to actually get to grips with, is that maybe my child doesn't want what I want for them, and I have to be okay with that, because ultimately it's their decision, it's their life, they're the ones that live it. If they go and pick a career that ends up being a huge mistake, they're the one that has to live with it. If you're finding that you're embarrassed about that kind of stuff, well, that's your stuff. Like, why are you worried about what other people think about what your child does? All you need to worry about is your little family and not anybody else. So if that is a concern, leave it. Just keep an eye on it, see how he's doing, and if he's still spending time with his small cohort and group of friends, great. Maybe they'll be friends for life. Maybe they will, you know, grow up together, and who knows, maybe they'll become, you know, huge rock stars. Who knows? They have as much chance as anybody else, unless they're really bad. But they have as much chance as anybody else. So maybe just try and support that. Give it a go and see. And do come back to me if you need to. Okay, last one for today. And it is the old favourite kids question. So I got a question in from a mother whose child had asked repeatedly, school, what is the point? That's a very difficult question to answer, because, okay, let's go with the official line of you get an education, you increase your potential for getting work and job, and you know, you learn more about life and maybe things that you didn't know that you'd be interested in. Whereas, you know, we all know a good teacher, at least one, who will you know, inspire you in a subject that maybe you didn't think you would. I had an English teacher who was just brilliant. I just loved going to his class because he made it so interesting. So school can be a lot of fun. You will learn new things. School can be a pain in the ass too, and that's all right. I would hate if someone told me that I had to go and just sit down all day, every day in a class and be quiet, because that's not how I'm made up. I need to get up and move around. So many kids get up and move around, and we, like, our education system, and it's changing thankfully, is based on a model that's what, 200 or 300 years old. So it was sit down, be quiet, and stay quiet. Whereas that's not how everybody learns, and we've learned so much. And like I say, thankfully things are slowly starting to change. I don't know if they'll ever change to a point where it's very much child-centred as opposed to educational prescription centred. I don't know if it's even manageable for it to be completely child-centred, where we're taking the child and building the education around them and how they learn. But it is improving, certainly in Ireland, and that's something positive. But school is one of those things that you just got to do. You got to get through. It can be a pain in the ass, but try and look for the little things that might make it that bit more interesting. Try and look and, you know, see, can you picture your teacher with, you know, big horns in their head or something like that. I don't know. Maybe your teacher has got horns in their head already, and, you know, you get to have a good laugh with your friends about it. But look at what you can do to kind of make it a bit more fun. Don't draw on the tables, and don't put thumbtacks on your teacher's chair. Never goes down well. All right. Jennifer's saying maybe talk with them about the music. Ask who they are and what they sing about. Show an interest. Really, really good point. Show an interest in your children's interests. It's really, really positive, because it makes them feel good about themselves and that you actually do care. Now, you might sit there and go, that is horrendous, I would never listen to that. But show an interest. Because if your child isn't interested in it, maybe they want to tell you about it. And again, what you're doing is you're opening up a way of communication. So great point, Jennifer. Well made. Guys, that's us. 15 minutes in. Bang. Get it done. Get it dusted. Hope everybody has a lovely week. And we will talk to you very soon. Take care.